Art is a produce of a work that can be enjoyed audibly, visually, audiovisually by the general public. Each individual is born and grows up with different artistic instincts, be it in music, dancing, painting, and so on. In other words, artists and each work of art is subjective. Art has no fixed judgment because of the aesthetic value captured by the human brain varies based on his preference. This is why awards such as the Grammys, the Brits, and the AMAs in music, the Tony Awards in theater, and the Oscar and BAFTAs in filmmaking, etc., are not in line with the nature of the art itself. The reasons that reinforce this are: the first one, art is subjective and cannot be defined and judged by the other parties. Let me give you an example. A prefers pop generic, while B prefers rock music. When it comes to taste, both of them are valid and can have their own preferences in music. There is no one who has bad taste. Both are good. Everything is good. There are no qualified reasons to judge who is better because each gender has its own characteristic which cause people to like. This means that art is purely subjective. You may like A and dislike B, but it does not mean that A is good and B is bad because some people out there think that A is bad and B is good. Depends on the enjoyers. Art is made for everyone. Also, by giving certain artists awards for certain category will cause arguments between the enjoyers. One will feel superior for their taste and one will feel inferior, or even both of them can feel superior and inferior. The second one is the subjective criteria. We always see good singers get nominated in the same category, such as R&B Artist of the Year, Pop Artist of the Year, and many more. There are many R&B, there are many pop artists out there, but when it comes to awards, only one wins. Now the question is the one who wins better than the others? The answer is no. For example, singers, they have their own voices, they have their own colors, they have their own characteristics and their own ways of making music. For movies, each directors have their own ways of choosing characters, shooting from different angles, and many more. And that is the reason why their movies are never the same. Even the same directors can make two different movies that can make you think that these are two different movies from two different directors. Well, it's not. But in award show, these unique colors don't have their places to stand out because of the criteria of the nomination given. If A wins in a category, does it make B, C, and D bad? No, they were never bad and they deserve to win. So it's A. Criteria in award show is just another medium to show people favoritism. Even nowadays, we see some artists win because of their popularity. They will. It's actually not a problem, but it is a problem for some artists who don't have that popularity. They will think their art is bad, useless, and not worthy, and they will start to feel jealous towards another artist because theirs doesn't win. Well, actually, out there are people who genuinely enjoy it from the heart. And the last one is the winners are usually mainstream ones, and it doesn't reach small and anti mainstream artists. As I have said before, some artists win award shows because of their popularity. It means artists who have big fan bases have more power to dominate the awards industry and give their best for their artists. It is an act of support from the artist itself. But what about small, newly entry and regional artists? Some of them have no clue that awards exist. By giving awards, it means giving more and more recognition to those who are already popular, while this should be given to those who actually need the recognition they deserve. In conclusion, art is subjective, and it should stay like that. Awards are something that is defining art with subjective criteria that applies to some and doesn't to the others. Criteria in awards never and will never be the benchmark of what and which is better. Art, in many kinds of form, should be recognized and enjoyed by all the people suitable with each references. This is why this house opposes awards and recognition in the artistic or creative field.